Welcome back into Sports Drive. Once again, I'm your host, Preston Moore. Mentioned talking high school basketball earlier in the show. That is what most of this show consists of today. Joining me now is one team that I mentioned, another team from the area that got a big district win last night. Texline boys basketball head coach Coby Beckner joins the show now live. Coach Beckner, thanks for joining the show. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to talk about last night's win. You guys picked up the win over another ranked team, a very good Will Dorado basketball team. Talk to me about what that win means for your team this year. Obviously, we know that you guys are a very good team, ranked top 5 in the state at the 1A classification, but beating another ranked team, Will Dorado, 53-46 last night has to mean quite a lot.
You know, it does, and the main thing it's a chance for us to learn. I mean, we didn't play our best, and I'm not saying that to take anything away from Will Dorado. They're 20 points better than they were last year or 2 years ago. They're a very good team, very well-rounded, but it gives us a chance to what I consider to be an ugly win, but an ugly win is better than an ugly loss. And I was late getting on here because we were watching film, trying to learn and say, look, we were fortunate to win. We really were. Will Dorado's really good. So it's just a chance for us to continue to try and get better.
What does it say about your team when you can pick up those wins where you maybe don't feel necessarily as good about them as you would some other wins, but when you can pick up a win in a game where you feel like your team wasn't reaching their full potential in the game, but you still come out with the W? What does that mean for your team, and what does that say about your team? Because there are a lot of good teams that can't do that and can only win when they're playing to their highest potential. But when you can win whenever you're not playing to your highest potential, I would imagine it says quite a lot about your team.
Well, I mean, that's a really good question, and it's refreshing to hear you say that because I needed to hear it because I'm going down a rabbit hole that's like, I don't know if we can win another game because I just felt like there's a lot more things that we did wrong than what we did well, and that's just a fact from my eyes and from the film. So I think it says that we have a high ceiling, and as a coach, you're constantly trying to get your team to reach that ceiling, and that's kind of where I'm at right now, is trying to figure out ways to help our kids get better and help them see the ceiling that I see. I mean, I see the potential. I see what they can do. I see if they'll all play up to what they're capable of playing, what we're capable of playing as a team. And so I was telling somebody this morning, when you're coaching, it's like putting together a puzzle. And it's a puzzle that you cannot ever put together. It's like a puzzle from eternity. You find this piece, and then you find out, oh, I'm missing that piece. So it's forever ending, but that's what makes coaching so challenging and rewarding and frustrating all at the same time.
Well, in terms of that puzzle you talk about this year, how do you feel like you're doing on that puzzle this year compared to other years you've been coaching? Obviously, ranked highly in the state, picking up some big wins. How do you feel like your team is at right now? Obviously, playoffs looming now. We're getting a little bit closer and closer to playoffs being a little bit more of a reality than something far off in the distance. It's a little bit closer now. How do you feel about your team right now and where they're at?
Well, we have good depth. I mean, I know that we have, we're really good from 1 to 8 or 9. We have as good a depth as anybody in the state at our level. What's happened this year is we've played, 24 games, and I think 8 games we've played with our top 8 guys. We've either had injury, sickness, an elbow, a knee, an ankle. We've had something, so we're still piecing it together. So I don't feel like we're quite as cohesive as maybe we've been at the past at this point. But I do know that our potential is way up there, and it's just a quest to try to get that potential out of them and find the pieces and the continuity that we need as a team. And so every year is different, and so it's hard to compare one year to the next other than the fact that you learn, and this team could do some things that teams in the past couldn't do, and vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely. What are some of those things? I'm curious. You mentioned teams or things that this team can do that other teams maybe couldn't. What are some of those things? What are some things that you think your team excels in this year?
Well, we're really good in transition, and we're really long. I mean, we got 6'5", we got 6'4", we got 6'5", we got 6'1", 6'1", 6'2", 6'2". So we got a lot of length. The challenge is we're also very light. I bet we average about 160 on the weight. So teams come in and they try to bully us. And we have a hard time with teams that do. And Will Laredo had some size and had some girth. And I felt like they bullied us a little bit, and which I would do the same thing. If I was playing our team, I would tell the guys that's going up against our team, look, you can bully them. Get in there and get physical with them. And so we're just continuously working on trying to get physical and a little more physical, a little tougher, and figure out what we can do the best and try to put the guys in the right spots so that they can have success.
Absolutely. Well, Coach Beckner, want to appreciate you coming on the show. We are happy to talk to you, and congratulations once again on the big win last night, and hopeful for some good Texline basketball going forward, and hopeful to have you on the show once again later on. Coach, once again, thank you for coming on the show, and congratulations on the big win. Best of luck going forward.
All right. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. You guys keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with more Sports Drive right after this break.